Hi, it's Red Recapped here. Today I'm going to describe a movie called Natural Born Killers, which came out in 1994. There will be some spoilers in the following. So, let's begin the film without further ado. In the opening scenes, the two main characters, Mickey and Mallory Knox, are in a roadside bar in the New Mexico desert. Mickey appears to be a regular, eating key lime pie and watching his girlfriend dance to rock and roll on the jukebox. A little later, a group of rednecks arrive, and one of them starts dancing and flirting with Mallory. In the process, his father sits next to Mickey and insults Mallory, unaware that she is his girlfriend. After Mallory finishes dancing, she begins to beat up the unknown man and encourages him to fight with her. Initially, the man is puzzled, but when he tries to fight back, Mallory beats him violently, knocking him unconscious. Mallory is still not satisfied and begins to beat the man to death. When the redneck's father tries to intervene, Mickey cuts off his finger and stabs him in the back with a large Bowie-style knife. Subsequently, Mickey and Mallory begin killing restaurant customers. Although they try to escape, Mickey skillfully throws his knives, striking and killing them. Finally, two people remain, and Mallory suggests playing a gruesome game to determine who lives and who dies between the last two. Unfortunately, the barmaid at the bar is chosen as the victim, and Mickey shoots her in the head. After the execution of the last victim, the couple orders the sole survivor, a cook, to tell the others that it was Mickey and Mallory Knox who committed the massacre. Ultimately, they embrace each other and declare eternal love. Mickey and Mallory continue their journey through the desert throughout the night. During a stop, Mallory recalls their first meeting. In a flashback, we meet Mallory and her family. Her father is an abusive man, and her mother is careless and dares not say anything to her husband about her behavior. Finally, her brother watches his parents and follows their examples. The flashback is portrayed as a 1950s-style sitcom with a canned laugh track with the audience when Mallory's father makes dirty comments and insults Mallory. Soon after, there is a knock at the door, and we find out that it is Mickey, a butcher shop delivery boy. He visits Mallory's house to deliver a large quantity of meat. Mickey and Mallory fall in love at first sight, and he suggests that she take a drive with him. Mickey steals Mallory's father's car, and they drive away together. As a result, Mickey was arrested and jailed for car theft. Mallory visits him in prison and reveals that her father wants to take her away and hide her from him. In addition, her father is becoming more abusive than usual and has even started touching Mallory. Mickey promises him that he will find her because they are meant to be together. In the next scene, Mickey is outside with other prisoners, and when he sees a tornado coming, he decides to use this opportunity to escape on a horse. Soon after, Mickey goes to Mallory's house, and she is overjoyed to see him. In the meantime, her father is watching television and sees Mallory about to leave with her bags. When her father tries to stop her, Mickey comes through the door and starts beating him with a jack handle. Then, Mallory helps him drown his own father in an aquarium. After they are done with their father, Mickey and Mallory enter their mother's room and set her bed on fire. As they are about to leave, Mallory sees his 10-year-old brother in her room and tells him that he is now finally free. Finally, they drive away amid thunderous cheers from the audience. They escape in a convertible car, and Mallory screams that she finally feels free and that she loves Mickey enormously. Back in the present, Mickey and Mallory stand on the edge of a bridge, and he asks her to marry him. Mallory immediately accepts and states that she has been waiting for this proposal for a long time. Next, they cut their palms and mix their blood, which fell into the river below. Then they exchange snake rings and kiss. In the process, a group of teenagers drive by and insult them. Mickey calms Mallory down and tells her that he does not want to kill anyone on his wedding day. In later scenes, we see a TV program talking about Mickey and Mallory and their fame. The couple continues their murder spree, similar to Bonnie and Clyde and the Starkweather-Fugate murders, killing 48 people along Route 666 in New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah. The two serial killers have even become the idols of many Americans and even people from other continents. People compare Mickey and Mallory to the most famous serial killers in history and proudly claim that the two of them are the best. There are many cases in which a loving couple has killed innocent people. For example, in one case, they killed a very young police officer who had just started his career a few weeks ago. In another case, they killed a famous velocipedist just as he was training on the street. One day, Mickey and Mallory head to a motel for the night. She suggests eating at a restaurant, but Mickey wants to stay at the motel. Afterwards, they start watching television, until Mickey is distracted by a woman they are holding captive. Mallory notices him and turns away from Mickey. To make matters worse, he proposes to have a captive girl, but Mallory storms off to go for a drive. While she drives around, Mickey has fun with the captive girl at the motel. Infuriated, Mallory drives to a nearby gas station and flirts with the mechanic. The two start getting intimate on the hood of a car, but Mallory becomes even more enraged when she realizes the boy is too impatient and shoots him. The next day, police officers find the mechanic's body, and after analyzing the evidence, they quickly realize that Mallory Knox is the killer. Meanwhile, the newlywed couple is again on a road trip. At one point, Mallory notices a police car behind them, but Mickey remains calm and changes course. After taking drugs, they stop the car, and Mickey begins to vomit. Then they have a small argument because Mallory is still not sure if Mickey really loves her. Later, they find the home of a Native American, and the man welcomes them inside. The stranger gives them food and a bed to sleep on. After the two have fallen asleep, the Navajo starts singing by the fire, invoking nightmares in Mickey about his abusive parents in an attempt to expel the demon he perceives in Mickey. He had a very violent father, and when he panics, he grabs his gun and inadvertently shoots the Native American. Mallory scolds him, saying that the poor man welcomed them into his home. However, Mickey claims that it was just an accident. This is the first time Mallory and Mickey feel remorse for a murder. After they go outside, Mallory is attacked by snakes. Mickey gets gasoline and lights a flare to scare off the snakes and save Mallory. The scene then shifts to Detective Jack Scagnetti, who seems to be particularly taken with Mallory. Scagnetti has always been fascinated by mass murderers, ever since, at the age of 8, he witnessed the killing of his mother by Charles Whitman in Austin, Texas. Despite his heroic character, he too is a psychopathic killer. In fact, one night, he strangled a prostitute to death in a hotel room. In the meantime, Mickey and Mallory go to a pharmacy to look for a snake venom antidote. After checking the shelves, Mickey realizes that the antidote is out of stock, so he goes to ask the clerk to give him spare ones. Meanwhile, the clerk is watching television, where we discover the second largest follower of Mickey and Mallory's murders, Australian journalist Wayne Gale. Lou hosts the program American Maniacs, which profiles mass murderers. Various clips of Mickey and Mallory are shown, with Gale becoming indignant on screen as he describes the pair's crimes. Gale is primarily responsible for promoting Mickey and Mallory to hero status, and his show incorporates interviews with people from around the world who admire the killers. When Mickey realizes that the employee has recognized him, he threatens him with a gun to give him the antidote. After taking the medicine, Mickey says he has to kill him so reporters will have content to film and shoot him. When Mickey and Mallory leave the store, they find that the police are already waiting for them. Mallory is immediately arrested and beaten by the ruthless and gruff policeman. Mickey and the others launch into a firefight. When Scagnetti arrives, he tells Mickey that if he does not surrender, he will cut Mallory, delivering a few blows to her with his knife. Mickey hands over his revolver but attacks Scagnetti with a knife. The cops hit him with the taser, and the scenario ends with Mickey and Mallory being beaten by a gang of vengeful cops while Scagnetti exults. Later, the couple is arrested, and the scene shifts a year later. Jack Scagnetti arrives to visit Mickey and Mallory in jail. The warden reveals to him that the couple has already killed 2 inmates, guards, and even a psychiatrist. Mickey and Mallory are declared insane and are transferred to a psychiatric facility. Scagnetti and the warden devise a plan to assassinate the 2 criminals. The warden will arrange for Scagnetti to be the Knox's driver when they are moved to another institution. Finally, Scagnetti will execute the 2 alone, claiming that they tried to escape. Scagnetti then personally visits Mallory and finds her singing in her cell. When Mallory spots him, she quickly runs toward it, slams her head into the door, and falls unconscious. Meanwhile, journalist Wayne Gale tries to convince Mickey to do a live interview after the Super Bowl. Wayne promises him that he will become more famous than ever and that he will be remembered as the most charismatic serial killer ever. Eventually, Mickey accepts his proposal and is then taken away. Mallory and Mickey are locked up in different cells, so he writes love letters to her in which he confesses that he dreams about how they kiss and remembers all the days they spent together. Meanwhile, Mallory is kept in solitary confinement in another part of the prison, awaiting transfer to a psychiatric facility. Sometime later, we see that Mickey cuts his hair in preparation for his television appearance. During the interview, Mickey makes a statement about how murder provides enlightenment and calls himself a born killer. His statements cause the other inmates, who were watching the interview on television in the recreation room, to revolt. When the warden learns of the riot, he orders the interview to be cancelled due to the aggressive protests of reporter Gale. In the meantime, Detective Scagnetti visits Mallory's cell and tells her that she will rot in jail along with Mickey. In the meantime, Mickey finds himself alone with Gale, the television crew, and several security officers. Mickey tells a little story, and while everyone is distracted, he overpowers a guard, takes his rifle, and kills most of the guards and part of Gale's team. Mickey takes the journalists hostage and orders them to film him as he leads them through the prison riot. Gale follows him, doing a live television report while all around him people are being beaten and killed. Inmates abuse and kill both other prisoners and the guards. Meanwhile, Scagnetti is still in Mallory's cell and tries to seduce her. Mallory plays along for a few moments before launching a vicious attack on Scagnetti, slamming his face against the wall and breaking his nose. Soon after, guards arrive and stop Mallory. Scagnetti, enraged, grabs pepper spray and begins to torture Mallory. A little later, Mickey, along with reporters, bursts into Mallory's cell and shoots all the guards, but Scagnetti remains alive. In the process, Mallory wakes up and comes up behind Scagnetti's throat with a knife. Soon after, Mickey and Mallory embrace and begin kissing. As Scagnetti is losing blood, Mickey confesses that the gun was empty. Mallory then takes Scagnetti's gun and kills him. Afterwards, Mickey and Mallory continue to escape from the rioting prison, taking 2 guards hostage. In the process, Gale follows them and, in a panic, grabs a gun and starts shooting at the guards, claiming to be alive for the first time in his life. Soon after, a mysterious prisoner named Owen helps Mickey, Mallory, and Gale find their way out. However, on the stairs, they encounter the warden and a group of heavily armed guards. At that point, Mallory takes Gale as a hostage and shoots him in the hand to show that he has the courage to kill him. Shortly after, Owen arrives, saying that he has found the way out, and they take refuge in a shower room stained with blood. Gale phones his wife to inform her that he is leaving her. He then calls his mistress to tell her he will meet her later, but she hangs up. Shortly thereafter, Mickey gets a brilliant idea. He ties rifles around the necks of Gale and a guard, threatening to kill both of them on live television. In this way, they exit through the main entrance. In the process, the warden and his guards are slaughtered by a swarm of inmates. In the next scenes, Gale, Mickey, and Mallory stop in a forest to do one last interview. After they finish, Mickey tells him, in anguish, that he must also die. Gale tries in vain to persuade them, finally resorting to their typical tactic of leaving a witness to tell the story. Mickey assures him that his camera will be used as a witness. Gale accepts his fate and stretches out his arms as if crucified as he is shot repeatedly while his unguarded camera films. Several years later, the couple is seen in an RV, with Mickey driving and pregnant Mallory watching their 2 children play. That's all from the video. Thanks for watching.